Hey folks, it's Nick Granville. Welcome to Guitar Daily. So coming at you from the hotel room in Tauranga here. We're at the Jazz Festival. Played yesterday with the trio, had a slamming gig and a couple of duo gigs with Jeff, which were fun. Got this little Laney thing. Use this in the hotel room, so that's my tone, or lack of tone. But I thought today had a question someone asked about how to play major and minor when you're dealing with the blues. So I thought maybe that's a good topic to kind of cover today and kind of look at. So probably the key thing I would say to answer that question is think about like sharp 9 chords. Sharp 9 chord is both the major major third and the minor third. The minor third is really the sharp 9 in this instance, up the octave, right? So it has both contained in it. And that is the sound of the blues. People think the flat 5 is the sound of the blues. That doesn't sound like the blues to me. Yeah, sure, you have the blues scale with a flat 5 in it, but that's not the sound of the blues. The sound of the blues is that, both major and minor, right? And the way it tends to work best I've found is if you're going to use both, use the major down low and the minor up high, just like the voicing of that chord. It doesn't tend to work too good the other way around. Right, it's pretty dissonant, whereas major 7 thing, right? Because I guess the theory of it being that a flat 9 within a chord is an avoid interval. In this case, it's a major 7 interval. But that's the way to think about it. So you might, something like this, for example. Right, pretty clearly major, and then minor up on top, right? The cool bit comes when you do stuff like that in between, where you're kind of looking at that in between notes, not a minor third or a major third. You know, Jeff Beck was one of the masters of that. If you haven't checked out Jeff Beck, do. They're sort of in between things. Alright, so that's the one I'd say explore. Start hitting the lower major third, the majors, and the higher minors if you wanted to get into that territory. Or the other thing you can do is you can sort of take a tact and go, well, strategically I'm going to start maybe major, and it goes to the 4 chord, right, back to the 1, take a strategy of that, and then maybe like in your second chorus you start getting a bit more minor. That can work, you know, and then strategically it's like there's a sense of like it's gone from happy to a little funkier on as it's progressing, and that gives your solo some kind of scope to grow and to move. Give that a try, see how it goes. Put on a blues backing track and see what happens, right? And of course we can do this with chords, and that's the sharp 9 is a perfect example of that. A lot of people only ever play that voicing, like Hendrix, right? But that works really well too. And of course, whenever I'm looking at a voicing, if it's this, those aren't just notes for chords, they're notes for solo too. So you can say that's kind of a pretty cool PGO to look at, right? There's your chord shape there, there's your chord shape there, and just put them together. And use those as your target notes, right? And you're kind of targeting those notes, and they're both major and minor, right? Well, minor in the sense of being sharp 9. Of course, when you go the 4 chord, then you want to resolve that. If you're playing a jazz blues, if you're playing more of a straight ahead blues, then, you know, don't play all the chord changes because it just doesn't sound like the right kind of vocabulary. yeah, so like I said, we're up at Tauranga Jazz Festival this weekend, playing today with the trio, and I got a Joy gig at Nectar with Jeff, and then back to Wellington tomorrow. So I will roll this out tomorrow, and I will have some more stuff for you coming in the next few days. So let me comment below if there's anything you want me to go over. Like having questions like this. I've got a few other questions that are banked up there, so I'll get onto those tomorrow or the next day. Yeah, thanks so much for watching. Cheers.